And now we're on to our second op art challenge, which is our op art paper weaving. So we're going to learn how to make this op art cube using op art paper weaving. So for this paper weaving task, you're going to need the following. You're going to need 2 pieces of different coloured A5 pieces of paper. You are also going to need a pencil. You're going to need a scissors. You're going to need a ruler. And you're also going to need an eraser. Okay, firstly, I want you to take your A5 piece of paper, pick which one you want as your background, and I want you to fold it in half. I want you to make sure that you're folding it in half as if you were folding a greetings card to send to somebody. Making sure it's neatly folded, and you're pushing down on the edge, the folded edge, to make sure it is well folded and will not fall out. Next thing, I want you to make sure you're looking at your open side. So the next line we're going to draw is on our open side. I want you to take your ruler, and using your ruler, I want you to measure 1 centimetre from the edge. Make sure you're looking at the 0 and the 1. So 1 centimetre from the edge, mark it using a pencil, and I want you to draw a line all the way down. Next, just double checking that's on the open side, I want you just to write stop, because this is going to be our stop line. Next, I want you to take your ruler, and from the centre of the stop line, I want you to draw a diagonal line, so a line kind of slanted line, from the stop line down to the folded edge. I want you to go from the middle, and I want you to draw 4 of those in total on that side. Make sure the lines are not touching at any stage, not even at the very top of the stop line. They're very close together, but they're not touching. Making sure that they're all diagonal, they're all slanted. And you want to make sure that they don't fall off the edge of the paper either. They should go from the stop line to the folded crease, not anywhere else. When you've got your 4 lines done, I want you to do the exact same on the other side. So you should have 8 lines in total. Next, I want you to take your scissors. Going from the closed side up to your stop line, I want you to cut out those lines. Okay, so nice and carefully, nice and slowly, and make sure you're stopping once you reach the stop line. That's really important. So I'm going to cut each of those lines until I get to the stop line. So when you finish cutting all your lines, I want you to open it up. And this is what you should see. Now, if you've done it wrong and if you've cut on the wrong side, you will notice that all the bits will be flying around the place. I want you now to make sure that your stop sign is facing up, that all your pencil lines are facing up. Okay, I want you to put away that bit for the moment and take your other piece of paper. In this case, it's my light blue piece of paper. Then taking your ruler, and I want you to measure out 1.5 centimetre lines. I'm doing 1.5. If you want yours to be thicker, that's fine. Maybe make it 2 centimetres or 3 centimetres, but I think the thin ones look quite good. So as you can see, I'm measuring out my 1.5 all along on my ruler. Now that I have that done, I'm going to draw a line down on this mark and do that all the way across. Next up, it's time to cut them out. So I want you to cut each of these strips out nice and carefully along the lines. Okay, so once they're all cut, I want you to stack them in a pile and take back your original piece of paper that you cut and get ready to weave. Make sure that the stop sign is facing forward and all the little bits of pencil on the side of your paper is facing up too. Now it's time to weave. For the first one, I'm going to start with going over the paper, then under, then over, then under, then over, then under. So every second one, I'm coming over, under, and you're pulling your piece of paper right through to the end. And you're pushing it up to where it says stop. For my next piece of paper that I take, I'm going to do the opposite. So I went over the first time, so this time I'm going under. Going under, over, under, over, under, over, all the way to the top. You just want to make sure that you're doing the exact opposite to the one that you did before. So if you've been over the one before, you're going under the next one. Can be a little bit tricky, but just have patience with it because it will work out really well in the end. Once you've got it all the way through, just push it up and slot it all the way over so it's right in beside the other one. Again, this can be a little bit tricky to do. So keep going and use most of the strips to weave all the way down to the very end until you get something like this. I now want you to look at each of the different sections that I'm pointing at, and I want you to take out the light blue one from each of these sections and just flick it out until each of those sections is covered in light blue. So you can see what I'm doing. Taking out each light blue piece of paper so that all of the top row is all light blue. Can be a little bit tricky, particularly on the ends of it. So each section on the top is all light blue, and I'm now going to do the same on the other side. Taking each of these sections on the top and pulling them out so that they're all light blue. So I've just finished doing the other side also, and what you've got now is you've got all of the top and all of the bottom all light blue or all the same colour. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over. What I've got is my Up Art paper weaving cube. Now what you can do to make it more sturdy is put it on a background, because some of those light blue slots or slits will be kind of moving around a bit. So by putting it on a backdrop, it will work quite well. Well done.